Evening everybody, how's it going tonight? Look, I've got my Spitfire shirt on, checking the green things bouncing up and down. That's quite loud actually. I'm just going to turn that down a little touch so it's not so hot. There we go. How is it going, Patreons? How are everybody tonight? It's weird to see your name RJ in the Patreon list. That's what you told me to put it in. I did that for you. The funny thing is, when obviously at the end of the month we lose a lot of patrons, and then we start getting them back at the beginning of the month. So I've had quite a few new ones as well. But as soon as one new Patreon jumps on board, the Patreon card updates automatically, because I've sorted that. But the countdown list I have to do manually. So I have to quickly go in there, render the scroll, take the scroll, put it into the countdown list, render that one, and export a video just for one person. So look, we got Christian from Grantham in. Christian, I've got a sound card light maker now. So when I click a button,
let's give it up big time. Hello, Christian from Grantham. Now let's get cracking.
How cool's that? That's the only sound I've got on the sound card thing, so I can click buttons now. But I want things like Brad Pitt from Seven saying, "What's in the box?" and I can click that, and Gandalf saying, "Keep it secret," and stuff like that. So it's all good, isn't it? Now tonight I'm on the rum. I'm not on the rum. I'm on the, what is this? Copper. I've never drank cider before, and it tastes like fruit juice. It's called Copperberg mixed fruit. It really does taste like fruit juice. It doesn't taste alcoholic at all, which is the things that are normally dangerous. So, but tonight, hello Jim, how's it going? We're all good. The having fun. Looking forward to the Super Bowl. I know you're not looking forward to that, and it's a shame the Bills got knocked out, but there you go. Is Mrs. Wade about? She is. She's downstairs and she's been building the doll's house today. I think there's some pictures on her social media as well. You will also notice that I've put a picture on social media of the ET spaceship. There's a little ET standing in the doorway now, although I need to paint it. Alexa, turn on the spaceship. Okay. You can just about see the silhouette of it. So for that reason, I put it on the social media so you can have a look at that. I will paint him up and stuff and then start the diorama. But that's going to be fun. So Alexa, turn off the spaceship. Okay. There we go. We're all good. Cider's okay. Hang on. Look, I should be clicking this, shouldn't I? Cider's okay. God, preparation for mistakes made ready. Master Treasure. No, Mark, it was Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade. The first person to get it, as you can see, was Carl again. Carl, you're really good at this. You're like a film buff. You should have been working for Blockbuster Video back in the day with me. Yeah, we could have done with people like you. Especially when you get customers coming up to you saying, "Have you got that film with that guy that was in that other one?" You just look blankly at them and think, "What? What are you talking about?" But Jimmy almost got it. He put Raiders, so he got the right franchise. And then later on we had Mark's Mods there. You got it as well, Mark. So well done for that. I think that's a lot better. You can't just Google that. So I'm trying to find some really abstract pictures from films that won't give it away. But yeah, all good. Hello, Michael Bradley. How are you? It's a nice drop-off stuff, Wayne. Try to pair one too. It's just like a fruit juice, Gary. But nice talking to you today, Gary. I spoke to Gary today, which is cool. I've also spoke to Ian today because this is all the behind-the-scenes stuff. So just to let you know what's going on, I'm just going to hide your message, Gary. I'm not collaborating on the Enterprise D build. I've paid 6 months up front, no, 3 months up, 6 months, I can't remember. I did it ages ago, but I paid up front for it. I'm not getting supported by Eagle Moss at all for this build because I ticked them off in the past. I've mentioned that plenty of times. So the good thing about it is I can do whatever I like to the thing, and I don't have to follow any guidelines or anything like that, which is good. So for that end, I've been mucking around with intros and stuff like that, and I did send Ian some. I'm going to share them with you now. The first one will be the intro to the videos. Ian's going to have a look at these intros as well, which is good, so thanks for the help, Ian. But this is what I've come up with so far. But the best thing, and try and keep this under wraps because it'll be a surprise for the general community when it comes out, is that I've ordered a Star Trek uniform. I used to have one, but you know, putting on a little bit of the weight there. So what we've done is I've ordered one, so that's going to be here Friday. So when the build comes up, my idea is that I'm going to start doing the video just in normal clothes. and then I'm going to change into the uniform, and I've done a special effect for that. This is the special effect. I hope this is the one, but this is what I recorded for Mrs. World of Wayne earlier. So Esther, I want to show you this special effect, which is really good. And as you can see, I'm wearing a World of Wayne shirt here at the moment, but when I click my fingers, I'm wearing the Spitfire shirt. How cool is that? See, you've got to love the Q thing there, and I've got that special effect that I can put on anything. So if I haven't got a screwdriver, I can just have to click my fingers, the Q flash will come in and something will appear. But because I am winging it on this one, I'm on my own, I'm a lot more excited. I'm really going to go to town on it. Also in Bismarck 1, did you install, sorry, Renosian, the part you left out in the turbine room? Did you watch it to the end, Renosian? It's I did it at the end. Remind me of the Bills loss again. I'll built that helmet down. Hey, have you seen what's happening though? It looks like the whole of the Rams coaching team has gone to Seattle, and we've switched quarterbacks with the Detroit Lions. I don't know if that's a good thing or not, but getting rid of Goff was probably the best thing. We'll have to see. Wayne Pickard, yeah, I should lose the glasses, lose the beard, you know, and just sit there going, make it so. Tea, Earl Grey, hot. Engage. So, well, you have the Spog. It's the next generation. I can't mix franchises because all those Trekkers get really, or Trekkies. It's Trekkers really, isn't it? I get they get a bit upset. But if you're interested in that effect, it's really easy to do. And I was thinking, what I might do after that video is show you how to do it. I did it in about 5-10 minutes. So, pretty good. You may not watch the end. You see, you're just being found out now, Renosian. Now, as I said, we are building the Spitfire tonight. Now, I know what you're thinking. Last time I built the Spitfire, it went okay, didn't it? The time before, it was an absolute nightmare. So, are we going to have a nightmare tonight? Well, I've already opened it and had a look through the instructions and anticipated some problems that I'm guessing a lot of you have had problems getting that landing light through the hole. I've already sorted it. So if you came onto the stream tonight expecting to see me struggling with that, hopefully I've sorted it. We're not going to have an issue. But thinking about it now, nothing ever goes right live on cam, does it? So we'll have to see. Give yourself some Spock ears as an effect. Yeah, I'd have to wear the old blue outfit as well. See, I've got a red commander uniform coming. I was going to have yellow, but as Ian will know, the t-shirt that Ian got me, it's no good under the studio lights because it makes me look like I'm having a nuclear winter unless I turn all the lights off. I could have had blue, but I think that might have played around with the special effects. So, hello Berg, this. Don't worry, you can catch the beginning up on demand. We've already had loads of fun and stuff, so... that's what I'm gonna do, Renosian. I'll be saying, you know, without further ado, I don't know, engage, make it so. Number one. No one's had their Eleanor delivery yet. I don't believe, Andy. I haven't even had a did I get a notification? I had an email last week, but I don't think it was a notification that's been sent out yet. But that's the same as the Ecto 1. Heard nothing about it at all. The X-Wing's 3 months late. Surprisingly, they say there's problems with customs, and they say there's problems with Brexit and, you know, customs and the COVID and all that. But today, I received issue 15 of the Peugeot GTI. And now I don't know if you've got this. I'm quite curious to know why I've got a pot of paint in there. Don't know what that's for. So I haven't opened it, but there's lots of electrics in that. Obviously there's a long way to go for that. I've probably got about another seven or eight issues to do, but I'm trying to pace them out. But that comes from France. So if they're having no problems getting it to me, it does make you wonder what's going on with the other ones. But you got your charge last night for the Eleanor. Well, hopefully you'll get an email confirmation that it's been sent out, Berg, this. So... Eaglemoss should support you. The thing with Eaglemoss, by the way, this stream is staying with the Patreons. I am recording on other cameras here to make this stream live for a Spitfire build on Friday. So, but no one will see this. But they're broke down into certain departments. You've got your Hero Collector, you've got your Diecast Club. And they've got, I think, 3 other items as well. And then you've got Eagle Moss and all of that. Now, I deal solely with diecast clubs, so all the cars and stuff like that, I can normally get responses for and stuff like that. But Hero Collector, I wasn't happy with the Doctor Who figurine collection. I wasn't happy that it went from 80 to what they on now, 300. I don't know. The quality of them I wasn't happy with as well. Then I called them out on the Enterprise D build a year ago, saying, if you're not going to tell people what's going on with it after launching it at the New York Comic Con like 2 years ago, that's very bad business. Very bad business. And from what I heard from them, it had been cancelled. But obviously it hadn't, and they were upset that I told everyone it had been cancelled. But if you want my advice, it's your own daft fault for not communicating it out. So that's what got me into trouble with Hero Collector. And that's why I'm on my own with that one. But there you go. I don't like I don't like how things are managed there. Let's leave it at that. At all. They haven't got a business head one iota. But there we go. I'll probably just burn some bridges there. It is what it is. I just say it as I see it. Damn, those pontoons on that plane were crazy. That was your that was your picture from it. I answered. See, I saw your comment, but then I saw the picture from before. So, but there they are. I'm glad you got that though. That's excellent. You had the Lego model disaster earlier. I knocked Hogwarts Castle over. No pieces lost, but lots of rebuilding. Oh my god! I remember when Graham Loki sent me the Hedgewig Owl. Some of those bits had come into pieces, and I had to try and put it together without instructions. We got there in the end though. Did you know dueling has Klingon as a language to learn? Kapla. I don't know much Klingon. Ah, and there, speaking of the devil, Graham. It might be a touch up for somebody. Well, I'm just interested to see it in there. I haven't opened the instructions at all. You've got your charge for the Titanic already. That's going to be amazing. But a lot of people are saying it is definitely the Hachette one from like 2001. So it'll be interesting if it is, and it's just been rebranded. That happens all the time in the Part Worlds business. So, did your brother get the right Spitfire issues? He has. I don't think he's received them yet. We are going to confirm that tonight. Look, it's definitely issue 44, and it's definitely the landing light to the left wing. We're working on the left wing, which is this one. So I'm going to make sure I do that right tonight. Apparently the Ecto one's going to ship next week. I'd love to see that, definitely. And Eagle must have customs issues was the moving stuff to the new German warehouse, but it doesn't make sense. Bergdis has said that the IXO collections are based in France and they don't have any problems. So I don't know. I find it strange that we started the X-Wing in September 2019, but now we are further ahead in the Ecto 1 and we started that in January. I know, it's crazy. What happened with Iron Man? Same thing. We're waiting for the deliveries. Fan Home have stuck with deliveries. I haven't received any more Star Wars bus collection. But there you go. You're loving the ET build. Well, we're working on the diorama at the moment now. Helder Camacho, I think I've said that right. He's actually sending me some more lichen and some more stuff to put in the diorama. I've ordered a load which is coming Saturday, including some sculptor mold. So I can start working on the diorama. There's probably going to be a real short update for ET on Monday. But then they'll be skipping a week. Then there'll be a video about the diorama. And then, as I said, round about the 18th, Phil Siegel over on Spruverse is going to be on the channel on the Thursday night chat. And we'll be showing all our things off and talking about the build and talking about the problems we've had, that sort of thing. So, all fun. If you get better income this year, you might just order the Bismarck. The Bismarck's definitely a lot involved. I was really scared today doing that. Issue 97, people told me those ladders, if you do one thing wrong, the steps are going to fall off and all of that. But as you saw, it was one cut. I didn't have a problem at all. I weren't going to show you doing every single one because that video was already like 24 minutes long. But hello, Richard. How's it going? But how can they have no stock here? And it doesn't make sense, does it? They know what their customer base is. They know how many they've got to bring out to people. So there's obviously a breakdown in logistics, because they'll tell you one thing because they have a customer service department, which in most of these companies just seem to be, Agora is the only one that doesn't, that seems to talk differently from the actual head office and stuff. But I'm guessing the logistics from getting it from China to them in their warehouse is where things are probably broken down. I can't see it being the logistics from getting it from their warehouse to us. But well, who knows? Who knows? What's that, Justin? Victoria needs to get tested for COVID and wear masks inside and outside, and no lockdown and isolate until the results get back. My mask's in the car. I got myself a Cobra Kai one. Are you going to do the red belly light? It's been a thought, but what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to find, that is a really tiny 3D printed ET, which is on a resin printer. I'm trying to find the STL file to print it. I haven't got a resin printer, but I know people will have one, because I'd like a few more. I've only got one. It came with 4, but Phil was blinding. Phil sent me that one. He wrapped it so well that I'm so appreciative that it came here in one piece. But I'm trying to find a little STL that I can print that, and then I can have a couple of ETs round. I think that'd be good. Would have liked to have gone on the Fat Boy. But DLC have been out of stock for like forever. Yeah, I don't know what's going on. Haven't got a clue. It'll be a touch-up paint to go with the bodge you'll get in the next issue to cover up the rust. Really? I'll have to look at that. I've got them all down here. I need to look. But I mean, you know, you should keep rust on it. That's the car. That's the Peugeot 205. My one was a complete rust bucket. And someone, when I bought it, just didn't even treat the rust. They just painted over it. So I knew it. As long as I pressed it and the poke in or anything, I was happy. Yeah, definitely China to EU problem, I guess. Yeah, I think that's what's going on. But what we'll do is we're going to start with the first issue. And once again, I can't really see the chat while I'm doing the build, so I'm going to switch cameras now. We've got this here. I'm going to show you what we're doing. Look, I really do need a new mat here. Look at this. So we have got issue 44 of the Spitfire here, and what we're going to be doing is doing the landing light. We've got a sprue here. Everything's in the pack. We've got a light. We've got some screws. We're going to open the light up and put the little sticker on the end. Then we're going to be putting the landing light that we worked on in the last issue there into this hole here. Now, when I first did a test fit of that, didn't want to go in very well. So I've done a little bit of manipulation, so that's going to fit perfectly. When that's in, we should be able to tilt it up and down. I think it tells us that here, just to make sure we can do that. Then we're going to be tracing the wires around. A lot of wire tidy in this issue, all the way to there until we get to the end. Now, there are some parts on this sprue, which namely are this part here, which I think is D, and this part here, which I think is B, which aren't used. It does tell us in the instructions here, at the start here, where are we? It does tell us there that due to last minute modifications, due to the operation of the landing gear, the parts B and D are not going to be used. So I'm not chucking them yet, but we're not going to be using those. And in the next issue, we're going to go back to what we did last week, where we're putting the light in for the landing light. And I've got that here. We're going to be doing that tonight as well. But what we're going to do, remember the plasters. Yeah, right. So I'm going to bring over the just trying to line it up on camera best there, probably best like that. Now once again, these stands are available through Oligo Models, and I'm going to put a link up on the screen for that. And there we go, there's a link on the screen for Oligo Models where you can get the stand from, and this includes you can get the support separate as well. So when I'm working on this and pushing this down, the whole plane's not going to tip over, but it's invaluable to work on. Obviously, I've got my light in there, everything's working. I did take off the light bleed I put on there just while I work with that, and I'll put it on. And I've still got my insulating tape that I worked on the last issue, because we're actually going to be using that in this issue here. So let's get on with it. I better open the instructions up, really, isn't it? Right, okay, so the first thing we're going to do is I'm going to be opening the LED up. This LED is a little rectangular at the end, as you can see there. Nice little rectangle, and we're going to be putting one of the stickers on. Now this sticker says L3. I do make sure that I say that when we do these builds, because I've had a few stickers fall off in the past and I don't know where they're from, so it's handy to go back. So there we go, that's on just like that. That was stage 1 completed. Okay, right, we're now going to take the landing light that we worked on in the last issue. Now that's going to be going into this sort of like off, what's a square called when it's not a square? This 4-sided shape. We're going to be putting that in here, but this section here at the bottom needs to be underneath this section here. So when it's in, hopefully this is going to fit perfect. We'll see. Just like that. I'm going to hold this side. You should be able to tilt up and down. Just like that. I'm going to let it sit there because we need to put a cover on that now. And I'm just seeing what that cover is. Right. Now the cover for that is on the sprue here and it's labelled A. We're going to be gluing this on, so I need to cut this off first with my sprue cutters. I haven't even got my glue ready yet, so I'll have to sort that out. Right, what way round does this go? Let me have a look. This little detail here looks like a cone in the middle. The point of the cone is going to be towards this edge here. The open side's going to be this edge, but that's just going to go over those 2 lugs that we can just see. Let me point to them there and there. We're going to need to put glue in it, but we don't want to swamp it with glue because the worst thing we can do is stick this together. So rectangle, I'll go with that. I'm sure it's got a more scientific name, Gary. Can't be just a rectangle. Whoops, I've moved it there. Just trying to think, would it be better putting it on the... I'm going to put the parts on the outside, the glue on the outside of these lugs here. That way I know for a fact this will stick, but there's no way it's going to pin down those bits in there. Now, can I do this with my hands? I'm going to try. That's going to be a no. Right, let's get me tweezers. God, this is hard. A little bit fiddly, but the wires are getting in the way for this as well. Okay, I'm going to be quiet for a second. There we go. Oh, that was in place. Stand by. I'm just going to hold that in. Keep holding, keep holding. See, on these live builds I can't edit, so normally I'll edit and say that's in now. There you go, but that's in, and it's still able to move, as you can see there. We will be pinning the other side down. I don't know when we do that. Do we do that now? I'm just checking. We do that now. Do. For the other side, we're going to be putting in this one just here. So I'm going to cut that off the sprue. 1 and 2. I'm not going to hurt my finger, I promise. I'll try not to anyway. Now this has got an open end, as you can see there. The open end is what's going to be facing towards this landing gear. It's going to go over these sections here, but this one is going to be screwed in with 2 times 4mm screws. Now we've got the pack of screws here, so I'm going to open them up and see. Yes, look people, I'm about to play with a scalpel. Just see what screws we've got in here. They all look the same to me. Nope, we've got some really thin ones, so I'm just going to look at the instructions and see what we're using. So 4403 are the thick ones. We're going to be putting them in with yep, we're going to be putting them in with 4403, so we're putting them in with the thicker ones. I've got them here. Pin this section into place just like that, and then we can screw that down. That's one, and we'll put number 2 in here. Get in there. That's number 2. There we go. Now, I don't know, this landing gear is not going to be controlled. I take it we're just going to pull it down manually with our hands, aren't we? Is that what we're going to do? It can't be, well, I don't know. Is it going to be motorized? No idea. Anyway, so we've done that. Now we're going to be taking the LED that we had last time. I'm going to take this off because we're going to be inserting the flat end of this LED. It says rectangular. Let's take this off here into this red thing here. Is it going to be easier to take this off first, I wonder? I'm going to push it in and see. I don't know. I don't know if that's actually got to go in there, has it? No, it doesn't. It just sits right on the entrance to it. And that fits in just like that. Can you see that okay? I think so. Then we're going to trowel this wire through these channels here. Let's come out again. Get in there. Right. Stand by. I get really fussy with wire tidy. But there we go. That's the first one in. We've got another channel just around here. Just going to see where it's going after that. It goes into this middle section here. Push that down. That's 2. Oh, it's going well so far. We can play a game, me versus Wayne, in speed building and see who can get done the least amount of boo-boos in our hands putting it together. Yeah, I'll probably lose something. You just know that something would fall off me. So we got one there. We've got another trench just there. That's number 2. Right, it's going to get exciting now. Now we leave that one for a second because we're going to be taking the one from the landing light here, and that's going to be going in this direction into these troughs that we can see just here. So that's going to go off in that direction there. This might be a good time to just use a bit of my insulating tape just to keep that pinned down while I'm working on them, like that. Okay, so the second one, which is coming from this, oh, I've done that wrong. Well, they're both going in the same direction anyway. Just checking. Yep, they're going to be following this one, so that's going to go there. Let's move that engine one out of the way. Into that. And into that one there. Again, hold that down. And then the third one is just coming from where we just had it there and following all the other 3. Very neat, isn't it? One there. Get in there. One there. One there. And again, I'm just going to put that insulating tape just over the top to keep them in place. Yep, looking good. Now we're going to be putting a catch just over this to hold that section in there. I'm just seeing how many we're holding in. We're going to be putting 2 in that one, so I can pull this one back a little bit. Where's me tweezers? That one's just going to go round those sections there. Ah, excellent, excellent, excellent. Which means we need to cut another part off the sprue, which is this one just here. Let's get that off. 1, 2. Doesn't really matter what way round this goes, but we're going to be putting this in with 1.4 times 4mm screws. So this will be the other ones that we saw. Just going to put them over the top. Check it. Wants to fall out? Of course it does. Nothing wants to stay in. I'll get a screw ready for this. These PHO screws, you'll be shocked at how many of these smaller screws it can actually handle. There we go. Put that in there. What I say in that? We got it in. There we go. I go very quiet when that happens. Right, that's the first one in. Put the second one in. Just following the pictures. Is that landing light motorized? Does anyone know that? The buzzing noise, Neil, is probably where my microphone is touching this table. Because I've got electric charge going around the table, lighting the RGB lights. So there's the second one in. Right, we've got a little catch to put all these under here, so I don't need that. All of these wires here can go underneath this black hook that we've got just there. So I will put them all in. Let's do that one first. Wow, it's going to be a little bit fiddly, this one. That's the first one in. There's the second one in. And last but not least, that's the third one in. Well, that went quite easy, didn't it? Is that all we got to do? That's all we got to do. And then all we've got to do is just check the operation. I'm going to try and hold this off the stand now. Turn it upside down without breaking it. Of the landing gear. So there's the landing gear, landing light there. And you should be able to open it and tilt it upwards and downwards. Up, down, up, down. I'm guessing that is going to be motorized, otherwise it's just going to sit like that. Nothing's going to really force it closed. It's got to be, So I'll put this back on the stand, because that is all there is to do in that issue, which means we're going to be doing issue 45. That went a lot better than I thought it would. I think I did read the forums about these landing, that landing thing, trying to get it in the hole. Has anyone done that stage and had problems with that? Because they don't tell you about that. And if you try and ram it in the hole, you're going to bend the pins, which you don't want to do. So in the end, I just matched it to the hole and saw where I had a little bit of excess because I couldn't get mine in, and just gave it a little tiny file at the side, and see it went in perfect after that. The landing light's manual. Well, if it's manual, why has it got a little slit on top of it? Why has it got that little hole on there, which mirrors the hole that we had there and there on the landing gears? I just wonder. It's a bit weird, isn't it? Who knows? But does the wheel cover not cover it? I don't know. I don't think so. Don't know. Oh, you had no problems, Mark. Oh, just me then. I just got lucky. What did you do with these, Mark? Did you chuck them or did you keep them? Because they're telling us they're not needed. But you know me, I end up chucking things and then I'm like, It's all fun. Right. Just going to move that to one side. We don't need that no more. Like keeping things tidy. What's the time at the moment? Well, we're doing good. We're doing good. Okay, we're going to be doing issue 45. You chuck them. Very good. I will chuck them. No problems at all. Okay, so we've got issue 45. Issue 45 is going to be an exact mirror of issue 43. We're going to be making the landing gear light. This time, different colour plastic in here though. So once again, we're going to be putting the LED into this housing here, putting the housing in the cradle, putting the cover on the cradle to keep that in place, and putting that onto that flat section that we just saw me put in there. And then once again, we are going to be putting the little LED light, optic fibre kind of thing, just on the end there. And that's all we're doing. So I'm going to put a little bit of tape over that to keep that in place. That's it. Should be a nice easy build, this one. So probably be linked to the landing gear somehow. Could be interesting. Hello Dave, how's Spain? I bet it's nice and warm. Is it warm over there? I haven't got a clue what your climates are. Okay, so this is what we've got in this issue. So another sprue, we've got another light, and once again we've got another sticker. So I'm just going to get these open. You know what, these things, these trays are invaluable for storing glue in, for mixing epoxy in. I use my Gorilla Glue epoxy for putting these in. They're just brilliant for doing little weathering on paint, to make oil washes. You could put black in there and some water in there. I mean, they're brilliant. I've got so many of them. But you can imagine with this build, I'm just going to lay all the pieces out that we need here. Obviously, that's everything there. This being starboard is going to be green. The other one we put in being the port one is red. Red is port and green is starboard, if you didn't know that. And this is where everyone will put in comments how to remember port and starboard. I use, out of all the things that people tell me, I always use the one that port has 4 letters in it and so does left. So that's it. But someone said about port being red when you drink it, so that's a good way to remember it as well. But I'm sure there's some poetry or rhymes or I don't know, something clever. So this one says L, let's get this one on this side, L10 we're putting on that light there. So that's been done. Daniel Goldman, I just looked at the video for the Hachette on their website, and when the landing gear is lit up, it looks like the hatch for the landing light is hanging down and open, so I think it will remain manual. Oh, okay then. It's only 22 and sunny. You know what, Dave? It's been quite mild in the UK today. So it's not been 22, that's for sure. Okay, so the first thing we need is this lens here. This is what the LED is going to be going into. So I'm going to put the LED in just like that. We're then going to be putting this into the cradle, which means I'm going to need to take these sprues off. So I'll cut them off now. We got one here. One here. Bit tricky, these sprues, I have to say. One here. One here. Because these ones here, look where the flashing is. It's right next to the part on 2 sides. So you can't just get your sprue cutters in one side there. Very, very tricky. There we go. But that's them all off. So the lens is going to fit in the same direction that we've got on this one. So this is just going to be fitting in. Now, do we glue this in? I believe we did, didn't we? No, we don't use glue. It says, whatever you do, don't use glue. I want to use glue because things keep falling out. We meant to glue the light in. No. Keeps falling out. Damn it, damn it. Right. You've got a little tab just at the bottom there, which is going to go into the hole there, which is going to keep all of this in one place. So I'm just going to make sure that I've lined it up correctly and that tab is in the hole, which it is. And the LED is in the back there. Now we need to close this up with the top section here, which is just going to go over the top. And we are going to need to put 2 little bits of glue in there. Now, I haven't got my glue ready, so I'm going to have to do all of this while I'm holding it. Put a little bit of glue in there again. Once again, this Archimedes drill came from Gary over in chat there. This is invaluable. This is probably the most professional one I've ever used, Gary. Absolutely brilliant. And I don't just use it for gluing, I use it for its real purpose as well, for drilling. As a matter of fact, most of the small holes on the ET spaceship was done using this, so I really appreciate that. Thank you so much for that. So put these lugs in here. There we go. We've got one complete lamp. Just holding that in place for a second. Keep holding it. Keep holding it. Okay. And then the last thing I'm going to do is the 2 holes that we got on the bottom there are just going to go into the 2 lugs that we can see on this section. Just do a quick dry fit of that just to see how they fit. Whoops, get around there. Not very good by the look of it. There we go. And they're going to fit in just like that. So once again, I'm going to put some glue just into those holes there. Again, I don't swamp these with glue. You never know when you have to get these apart. So once again, I'm going to line these up. 1, 2, and hold that into place just for a second. That was a quick issue, wasn't it? And there we go. That's the other landing light completed there. Bring over the Spitfire, and then this time what we'll do is I'll put this support just under that wing, because the green light is just going to go, it's got some channels on either side there. Just going to follow the design on this. Now, as you can see, we have got sort of like a lip on it. I'm just going to make sure I'm putting this in the right way. Not sure. They look the same. Looks the same no matter what way round you put it in. But I'm going to push that in here, and it should seat itself quite nicely in there. Just like that. There we go. That's not going anywhere. But you know me, if I knock that, I'm going to regret it. So I'm just going to put that over the top for now. So that's all in one place. And that's all there is to do in that stage. So that's 2 stages done in, I don't know, 5 minutes, less than 5 minutes. And the next one we're doing is just a mirror of what we started off with. So issue 46 is going to be attaching that landing light to the wing. If you've done this and you're a subscriber, because I subscribe, but for some reason, again, I'm a month behind everyone else. What issue are you up to on that? Haven't got a clue. I'm going to have a drink now while I'm waiting for a comic, 'cause we are 45 seconds behind, so. You're always gluing things, Howard, if it says not to. Yeah, I do that as well. I even glue things when it's a cock-up. To fix that cock-up on the Bismarck today, I obviously had to cut off the lugs at the bottom, because the glue was so tight in there, when I took them off, they snapped. So I cut off all the lugs and just glued them flat. Takes longer, but again, this glue, as you just saw there, it dries in seconds, and it's pretty clear as well. But I get this from the range in the UK, and it's just a normal CA glue. I've been trying to look for ingredients. It's just ethyl-2 cyanide. My eyesight's terrible. Ethyl-2 cyanocrylate. So it's just a CA glue. I don't know why it works so well, but if you've been watching the channel long enough, this has been I've been using that glue for years. As I said on the Bismarck stream today, this is 6 years we've been on the channel now. It's my 6th year. Crazy stuff. I don't know where it's gone. You're on issue 46 now, Mark. Okay, so what issue is that? 45. So you've already attached that landing light. Okay, that's interesting. But yeah, it's going to be nice. To be honest with you, I can't think of any reason why I want that landing light to be closed. If it's got a bulb in there and that bulb's going to be lit, why would you want it hidden? I would keep it open. I don't know how I want it. Interesting. That doesn't make sense to me. 6 degrees in Manchester. It's been warm today, but the buds are coming on. I've trimmed the tops of my hydrangeas off. My garden is wrecked. Absolutely wrecked. I normally have perfect bowling green lawn, but it's a bog at the moment. And where I've been walking and backwards and forwards to the workshop, the grass has disappeared because stupid me never cleared up the leaves, so they've rotted the grass. I've got a big job in the summer to get that back to normal. But we were thinking, Svi, let me show you a picture. I'm gonna try and do this on camera here. So let me stand by. I'm trying to think where we did it. So. I think it was Svi. Svi did a picture well, not for me. He's basically going to have to get rid of his shed, because his shed is there we go. I've got the picture here, so I'm going to save the image. His shed's basically caused I think some chestnut trees or something had caused holes in the roof, and it's just rotted everything inside, and he stood to lose quite a lot of things. So well, hey, let me just go back to studio mode. Mrs. World Wayne said that I need something at the bottom of my garden, so he did like a super imposed image of a shed that would look good in my garden, and I'm going to show it you now. Downloads. I think this would look amazing. You ready? There we go. Look, check that out. How cool would that be at the bottom of the garden? I would love that, but that would cost me loads. Obviously, I can't get out my gate anymore there, and it's far too further back. The garden's not that far back, so it needs to come forward. But that is a brilliant image. So it got me thinking, what happens if I was to get another shed, another 10 by 8 shed, put them together, and then knock through and have a walkway inside. So I have a man cave section, and I'd have a workshop section. Insulate it completely. It's all powered down there anyway. What that means is Riley gets his room back. I can have a complete dedicated space here. The garden's secure anyway, so don't worry about security. I We'll have to think. But then it's like, how would you mount shelves on wooden walls? I'd have to really reinforce the back wall with lots of 2x4s or something. Put it this way, Svi's picture really gave me food for thought. But if you were to buy something like that, I've already looked, they're between £6,000 and £9,000. Use Loctite, do you, Howard? It depends on what I'm doing with the thin stuff or gel. I've been using the thin on Bismarck. I used to use gel, but it didn't dry as quick as this does. This stuff I can, like, you know, put it on and put the piece on straight away and it would stay there. So, time to build a stone path. Well, if you saw that picture, I had some little stepping stones which I thought would just get me through the winter. It didn't. All it did was, like I said, the bog of eternal stench in the labyrinth. You tread on it and it squelched water up, then it slipped over, and the amount of times I've almost stacked it outside, crazy. So, you know, didn't work. So I need to pay for that this summer. But I used to have a trampoline for the kids in the garden, and you get the same thing. If you don't pick the trampoline up, everything underneath it dies. So I have to grass it, seed it, press it. But we'll get there. We'll get there. By May or June, I'll have a good garden again, hopefully. I like my garden. It's my place of solitude. Daniel Goldman, landing light open close when gear goes up down seems a lack of attention to detail. Wonder if something you could possibly look at in for an upgrade. It's a good point. It doesn't make sense, Ian. It doesn't make sense that you'd have a light on there that's lit up, and I'm guessing it's going to be lit up at all times because it's controlled by the. I don't know. But why would you not have it on? That doesn't make sense to me. We don't have that problem here, Dash Riptide. Garden shed you're allowed to build, no problems at all. Because it doesn't go over a certain height, you can do what you want there. So, I've already got a permit anyway when I built my patio and shed. The shed came with the house, actually. That whole paving down the end of my garden was done when I moved in. So, but we don't have that problem in the UK. If it was a structure that was concrete and brick, I would have an issue. Well, I'd have to get a permit. But again, I'm not gonna have a problem because neighbours have done it. I've had a neighbour who's taken their whole garden and built just a massive room in it. So they've got a garden. They've not got a garden anymore. They've just extended the house out, which is pretty crazy. Ian, do you remember that person that built that castle? God, why is it going up? Ian, do you remember that person who built the house? I think it was in Essex, actually, a castle in a field, but they covered it with hay bales and they stacked it so high that the neighbours didn't realise that building work was going on. And they lived there for about 15 years or something, and they thought there's a rule that says if a house or a domicile has been there for over 10 years, then it can stay regardless of planning permission. But because they did it the sneaky way, they still had to knock it down. You should do a Google search for house built behind haystack. Pretty crazy story. How does the DC3 sit in the shed? It doesn't at the moment, but it will in the summer. I've got it here at the moment, just behind me, because Phil Spruverse is working on the Spitfire from D'Agostini. Same sort of build, and it's whet my appetite. I really want to start that in the summer though, because by that time the Terminator would have finished, you see. So we'll see. Well, AG, who's AG? Can build a building until you put power to them. Ah, right. You're not allowed to put power to them. Can't you just run an extension lead out to it? Permits in the UK. Here we go. Michael knows it. I think it's over a certain size. You need planning permission. If not, it's classed as a shed. Yeah, I'm just in a shed. Look, we're talking about. Isn't it amazing what we talk about on some of these streams? We've gone from model building to planning permits, local laws, local bylaws. Well, I've got a door and windows here. You can have just come to get me in Michigan and get them. Oh, you know something I want to do. It's just something that's sorry. It's just popped into my head, Howard. When I've been to Vegas a few times, and the first time I went, we went via Minnesota. And then flew down to Vegas, and the second time we went via Houston. Now with Houston, lovely airport, nice big square shape. You just keep walking round and round in the square. But in Minnesota, they had loads of massive model planes on the ceiling. I don't know if they still got them there, but they had the Mall of America there, and I never got a chance to go and visit the Mall of America, which I really wanted to do, because I did manage to go off the air side to the land side because I got lost. And I went to baggage claim, and before I knew it, I was up an escalator and in the main terminal at the airport. So I was saying to security, I'm not meant to be here. I'm only on a connecting flight. But that was January, so you can imagine how cold it was in Minnesota back then. Jeez. Another shed attached makes so much sense. I'll have to price it up, Dave. But it would need to be reinforced, and I don't think I could have the entry. I'd lose the tree and I'd lose the hedge as well. That'd be another thing that goes. That's been there since I moved in. Make the man cave into a display room. That's a good idea, Graham. I am running out of places. Everything you see here, apart from the Bismarck outside and the Marvel movie collection figurines outside that you saw on the Welcome to the Cave video I did, this is all I'm displaying. The ET's staying there. You would notice that the billboard's gone from Back to the Future. That's just sitting down there on the floor at the moment. The Model Mods case is under here at the moment, waiting for something else to come. But once I've done that diorama, that ET thing's staying there. And as you can see, Ian's poster there, it really kicks it off, doesn't it, Ian? I like how the moon's coming up behind it. So that's really good. And if you didn't see the stream the other day, look, this is what Dan got me. The Grackham Black Spiced Rum. Although it's not got Kraken in it tonight. Hands off, this belongs to Wayne. My glass. So I'm not nicking Mrs. Welder Wayne's glass anymore. You had a similar one just a few miles away. Really? God. That haystack thing was crazy. Turn the workshop into... I can't do that, Daniel. He'd be out in the garden. Although I'd like that. Last summer he slept like 3 days in the tent in the garden. Why don't you bring some rum and cola to Adelaide? You know, I don't remember much about Adelaide, Justin. I remember the festival, what's your big centre there? The festival centre? Something like that. And they've got the coloured obelisks. That's all I remember of Adelaide. I don't know if they still got them. And back then they had John Martin's, which ran the old Christmas pageants. But, it's been a long time. Wait, you could just extend the house out and then on top put a rubber roof that you line with dirt and put your garden on the roof and walk into. I could just keep digging down, Dash Riptide, and you know, I could be one of those cave dwellers that live under. You can. Is there a bylaw? You know your bylaws. Is there a bylaw that says I can't dig down and create a massive cavern under the house? I don't know. That'd be brilliant. I'd live like a hobbit. Oh. I should do a world tour. You know what? I'm dying to go travelling again, Ian. But my passport runs out in August, funny enough, so I need to renew my passport. I bought a passport 10 years ago, and you know what? I haven't used it once. Because the last time I was on a flight was 2010. So it's been 11 years. So, crazy. I got Mrs. Welder Wayne's renewed last year, was it, Esther? Or was it the year before? So you've got plenty on yours. Hello, Craig. How's it going? Stuck in driving time stream started. Just got done so I can chat. Oh, it's all good. Well, watch the catch up. You're going to love it. We didn't have any problems tonight, thank God. All chip in. No, you don't want to do that. I don't even... don't do that. Whatever you do, don't do that. I need to think it's a big deal. It's a big deal, like knocking things down in your garden and building something like that. And then what would the neighbours think? Because like this is semi-detached, this house. So I've got neighbours both sides, but the house is only connected on one side. So what would the neighbours next door think? Me having 2 sheds in the back garden. And the other thing is that I'd need another little shed at the other side of the garden to house the lawnmower and stuff. Because I'm not going to keep a lawnmower in my man cave. Yeah, Gary, you'd be shocked. I build all these tiny models, but when it comes to big things, yeah. Who's that? Colin Fursey. Huge Joe, he built a massive underground bunker in his garden. Yeah, you see, I'd love to do that. That would be brilliant. You'd have the problem with damp. I used to run a Blockbuster store in Hertford, and that was down. And it's just like cellars. You've got that you can't get rid of the damp, no matter how hard you try. But how does everyone know about this Colin Furze? It would make some great videos though. Definitely. Anyway, listen, I think I'm going to knock it there tonight. I'm going to put all this away. Tomorrow's video. What am I going to do tomorrow? I've got another Bismarck to do. I've got plenty of Peugeots, but we've done those this week. I want to do this Spitfire one for Friday. So I don't know. Don't be surprised if you see another Bismarck tomorrow. We'll have to see how that goes. But thank you for joining me tonight. I said if you did join Jake late, definitely check out the on-demand stream. That's going to be all good. And but thank you for joining me tonight. I hope you enjoyed that Patreon stream. I will get round to doing, if you saw that special effect, how to do it, because I did one for Harry Potter, how to make the newspaper article with the moving images, and that did really well. So doing the old Q flash and me disappearing, I think that would be quite a good thing to do as well. But anyway, listen, thanks for joining me tonight, and I will catch you on the normal